I remember vividly when I was a kid, I would ask my dad about work or if he enjoyed work. And he said, Josh, no one enjoys work. People do it because they have to. He said, anyone that talks about work outside of work are just miserable people. And my dad's the best. But now that I have a business and all I do is work from the second I wake up to the second I go to bed, and then I dream about work. And when I'm with my friends, well, all my friends are really business owners, and all we do is talk about work, and my life is basically just work. I I feel bad. I honestly feel bad because that is how the majority of people feel. When I wake up, all I want to do is work. I love work more than anything. It is my favorite hobby. It is what I think about. I quite literally go to bed thinking about work, and I wake up and throughout my sleep I am dreaming about work a lot of nights. It is absolutely incredible because who wouldn't want to be working on something that they're passionate about and that they actually love doing and that they're wildly obsessed with? Don't people envy and are jealous of professional and athletes and clap for them because they chased their dream and they actually accomplished it? I mean, I feel like I'm in the exact same position, running a business. It is awesome. It really is awesome. It's incredibly stressful and there's immense amounts of pressure, but it is truly the most surreal thing in the entire world. But when I first started, I didn't love what I was doing. First, I was studying macroeconomics because I was in high school and I made the conscious decision, instead of going to school my senior year, I was just going to study macroeconomics and my rationale and business. And my rationale was, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I know that if I can figure this macroeconomic stuff, which seems so ridiculously difficult, if I can figure that stuff out, then I'll at least have a better idea of what I wanted to do. And I also knew that I wanted to apprentice myself under someone instead of going to college. And I thought anyone that I would want to apprentice myself under would not give a shit if I graduate from high school or not. And so I was very cognizant of this. And during that time, I studied macroeconomics and business every single hour of every single day. And I felt bad when I did anything else because that was my way out. And every single podcast I listened to, every single book I read, I reached out to the person writing the book if they were alive. Every single podcast, I'd reach out to the person who was interviewing or getting interviewed, asking to work for them for free, asking to pay to work for them, asking to do anything. I just wanted to get a foot in the door. And eventually, what ended up working is I got this guy, George Gamon's logo tattooed on my leg, who has a YouTube channel, and just started doing macroeconomic research for him. But I still really just love business, and macroeconomics was just the first study that kind of brought me into the space. And most of George's friends were large business owners. George is retired, so he doesn't really run a business anymore, but all of his friends did. And I wanted to find a way to work with them too, because I wanted to learn faster. And I knew that if I could learn from a bunch of different people who were very successful, and as well, these were the same people that I was reaching out to months prior, that I could really steepen my learning curve and exceptionally quickly. And so I found, well, what can I provide for them? Because none of them care about macroeconomics to the degree that I did. They all wanted to grow online. They wanted to grow their personal brand. And so I thought, well, it doesn't matter how good their videos are because objectively they have much better information than everyone else in the space. They have much bigger businesses. They're actually doing real stuff. Why don't they get views? Why don't I figure that out? Because it doesn't matter how good a video it is. It matters that people watch it. So what's the psychology behind getting someone to watch a video? What is the psychology behind getting someone to watch a video all the way through? And so I started to just learn everything about that. And that's what I've been doing for the past few years. And I've grown a business since then. And now I'm working with very, very, very large business owners. I'm helping them grow their personal brands so they can get more customers for their business. And the way that I think about it is I care about their brand, their reputation, their channel more than they ever will. I mean, no business owner ever brings someone on that cares about their reputation, their brand, or making them money in general. But I care about it more than they do. That is how obsessed I am with this, because I want to show the best results in the entire world. And my thought process is, or has been, if I can give them the best results in the entire world, they will pay me whatever I want, or in compensation with how much value I provide, because that is the epicenter of capitalism. And so I've been doing that. And, everything happens slowly and then all at once. And so just very recently, I just it just kept on raising the prices, and people were willing to pay it. And now there's a wait list for the amount of work that I have. And now I'm building a team and learning new skills, because it's so much different when it's just you and then maybe hiring some VAs and training other people's teams and talking to them about strategy than when you actually hire people, bring them on. I mean, it's a completely different setup. You go from kind of doing everything yourself to how can I do nothing and build the best team to do everything for me. And that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And then there's a multitude of phases after that. And the game itself is just so much fun. And I was talking to Ken today, one of the guys that I work with. He has a 10,000 unit real estate portfolio. I took over his channel in January, and we've about 1,000x the results. It's really, really incredible. And so he recommends me to all of his friends. But anyway, I was talking to him because I'm going to be back in Scottsdale where he lives on Monday, or this Sunday, but I'll be back in the office on Monday. And we were going over a video that he was going to record today that I outlined, and I told him everything. So we were just kind of pre-prepping like we usually would if I was in the office. And the video was around if he had to start over, but we were going to put a very, very unique spin on it. So if Ken had to start over in real estate when he has now 10,000 apartments, what would he do? And he said, well, Josh, the first thing I would do is I would take my first 30 days. If I had to start over, I would take the realtor's exam or something like that. And it was some sort of exam that he said it's not to get the license that's important. He said it's the material. He said you have to learn all the basics. He said you're going to learn the basics of a million different things in that 30-day course or whatever it is, or however long it takes, to where then after you understand all those things, you can decide what field of real estate you actually want to go into. He said he chose property management. Every single investor, every single person in real estate will need someone to manage their properties. So when he was in his 20s, that's what he did. Then he spent a few years in property management. And then he helped other people start to buy big deals. And then he was managing those deals, and he built a company around managing those deals. And they said, well, the money is in actually buying the deals. So let me try one for myself. And they said, well, this worked. So why don't I try and get investors to help me buy more deals, and then more and more and more and more deals. These are very, very long processes because you have to learn so many micro details before making a lot of money. You don't understand how little you know until you talk to someone who knows a lot. Or even better, you don't know how little you know until you try and explain it to someone else. I mean, most people don't know a lot about really anything. And I don't consider myself knowing a lot about anything. I would just say just barely enough. Anyway, I kind of forget where I was going with this video. I've just been rambling. I worked all day today. And I mean, I actually did rest a little bit for like an hour and a half this afternoon. I kind of just chilled out and took a nap on the couch, which I rarely do, but I was a bit tired. And I also do a video every day for 1,000 days. At least I'm almost a year into it. And I know no one cares, but I made a video on my first day of the challenge predicting what would happen throughout the series. And I made one that goes out after 1 year, which comes up in a little under a month, and then after the 1,000 days, because Mr. Beast did that, and I thought that was cool looking back as to what he thought he was going to do. I made one around this in my business and what was going to happen. I haven't watched them, but I see it every single day. I look onto the YouTube studio when I'm uploading a video, and I'm pretty excited to watch it for when it comes out. Because I mean, this year, everything has happened. The business has grown more than I could have expected. I, as a person, there's just been so much stuff that has gone on. And so just going to keep doing the things that need to get done. I'm going to sell the car I have here in Boston on Friday and buy something new in Arizona. Last time I was in Arizona, I had a 1957 Porsche Speedster that Ken gave me. I doubt he's going to give it back to me. Maybe, because I have made him a lot of money. But if I was him, I would just drive it. So if I don't have that, I'll need to figure out another step for a car. I do think, it's going to be easy to just buy a car out there. Anyway, this is useless stuff.